I'm so sorry there. Again, once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sash Factor Live Chat Series. This is going to be a great and wonderful afternoon for all of us. My name is Sabilano. I am the host for this afternoon's live chat series for Miss Universe Japan 2020. So first, before we introduce our special guests for today, I'd like to say maraming salamat. That's a thank you very much to all of our fans here in the Philippines, and thank you to all of our fans around the world for staying tuned to our live chat for today because we have not only one, take note, but two special guests for our live chat for today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce first our special guest, our first special guest. She is the national director of Miss Universe Japan. Let's all welcome Miss Hiroko Mima.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
There you go. Thank you, ma'am, for being here on the live chat for Sash
Oh, thank
Factor.
you very much for having us.
Of course, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much. And of course, the woman of the hour, our newly crowned Miss Universe Japan 2020. Let's all welcome to the Sash Factor live chat series, Aisha Tochigi.
Hi. Good
There.
afternoon.
Yeah. Hi, Aisha. Good afternoon.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm so
Of
grateful
course,
about it.
it's our pleasure, and the pleasure is all mine because my God, I have two equally beautiful women on my midst right now. I am so happy, ladies and gentlemen. These are the movers of Miss Universe Japan 2020. Of course, I'd like to first give you an opportunity to say hi, Miss Hiroko. Maybe you can say hi to our fans right now.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for having us. And this is the first interview after we have a new queen. So it's very
Yay!
excited.
Yay! Thank you so much, and thank you so much for giving Sash Factor this exclusive interview. We are so honored. And of course, our new queen. Congratulations to our new Miss Universe Japan 2020, Aisha. Maybe you can
Hi.
say hi to your fans right now.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Aisha Tochigi. I became Miss Universe Japan 2020. And I've known about this Sash Factor through my Filipino friends. So I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Yes, just knowing that this is the very first interview that you had since the coronation last week, we are so honored. We are so happy that you are doing it here on Sash Factor. But before we begin, I'd like to ask Miss Hiroko, how have you been after the staging, the successful staging of Miss Universe Japan 2020?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, like, it was crazy days, I have to say, because, like, this year, like, all the events, like, we have to take the very different way. And yeah, so I was like, after Miss Universe Japan competition, I was like, just like, want to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. I could just imagine the stress, the being tired about the entire thing, but everything paid off because it was a spectacular, really great show. We're
Yes,
gonna talk more about that later.
yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Congratulations on that. But of course, I'd like to also ask our new queen, Aisha. Congratulations. How have you been after, I think, like a few days only after being crowned? How is life like for you?
Well, I'm doing great, first of all. And I still work at my company. I still work in the hotel and go for the work. But like things that has changed around me is I had so much congratulation message and letters from my friend and my family who is always supporting me. So I'm so grateful about people who loves me and then who is always here for me.
There you go. And of course, we are so happy that you are here. Wow, Miss Hiroko, your queen is so hardworking. She's working already after being
I know,
crowned.
I know. I think next day of the competition, we all get together with finalists,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a little bit cheating of side of her. She went to a burger shop and eating like burger. So I'm like, okay, today is fine completely, but
I
there's no tomorrow. I'm not
know.
gonna sleep.
Well, of course, we have here a very hardworking, a very
Yeah,
dedicated queen.
she did very hard work. Yeah.
Yes, and I think you are so proud. But we're gonna talk more about how proud you are
Mm.
about Aisha's win. But before we begin, I would like to first maybe take a look at the fan comments because we have a lot of our fans already tuned in. Allow me to say hi and flash some of their well wishes. We have here Sachiko Tochigi. Aisha, maybe this is one is familiar. Sachiko Tochigi is saying hi, congratulations.
That's my
Who is?
mother.
Oh, mommy.
Yeah,
Hi,
you should.
mommy.
Actually, you should share where's your mom now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Where is mom right now? Where is mommy right now?
she's in Ghana right now.
Oh, she's in Ghana right
Yeah,
now.
she works over there. So, hi,
Hi,
mom.
mommy. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not too sure what time it is in Ghana right now. Thank you so much. We also have here Gerzafa. Wait, we also have here. Wait. Oh, one of your fellow queens is here. Yuki Sonoda is here,
Hi, Yuki.
and she says here that that burger was good. What burger was that?
He
Yuki.
was great. He was great.
There you go. Hi. Hi, Yuki. I miss you. Yes. Thank you so much for watching as well. We also have here maybe two more because we have a lot of viewers right now. We also have you, Sarah Datwani. She says, lols. We're going to say hi.
She
Achan.
she
You,
was
Sarah.
she was semi-finalist of last year.
Oh, watching as well. Hi, you. Thank you so
That
much. Thank you so much for watching. And one more. One more before we start our very interesting conversation today. We also have here, um, okay, Sean Sioson. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, Aisha. You are a representation of diversity and authenticity. Congratulations from the Philippines. What can you say about that?
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have those words. Thank you. Arigatou
There.
gozaimasu.
There. Arigato gozaimasu as well. To all of the fans, thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to key in your questions for both our National Director, Miss Hiroko, and our Queen, Aisha, for today's live chat. But for now, let's begin with the fun part. Okay? I have prepared the first segment for the both of you. This is Sash Factors, first and last. Okay? What I'm going to ask you to do is you have to answer questions about your firsts and lasts, about everything in life. Okay? Just to get our fans a little bit of an idea of who you are as a person, who you are, your character, their likes and dislikes. Okay? Are you ready for this first segment?
yes.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. First question is for Aisha. This is for the first. Aisha, first thing you did after winning Miss Universe Japan 2020.
The first thing I did was to take a selfie with my family because I was so proud about myself and I was
Wow.
so happy. So I just wanted a selfie, not like a formal picture, but I wanted like something that is more casual with my family so that I can get along. So we took a selfie.
Wow. So was the entire family over in Japan when you were crowned, or was it just like,
Well, my entire family was in Japan, but my father couldn't make it for the competition because he
hmm,
had work. Yeah, but he came later on.
yes, but I think he is still so proud of you. Congratulations, Aisha. Next one, Miss Hiroko. This one I think is the perfect question for you. The first thing you did to relax after the Miss Universe Japan staging.
So yeah, I just before I mention it, I just like sleep. I think I didn't sleep like 2 3 days. Like
Uh-huh.
night before the show, I think I slept on maybe like hour 30 minutes or something like that. So I just wanted to sleep.
Well, we can understand because of the stress, right? The preparations. You deserve that like 2 days of sleep already. Thank you so much, Miss Hiroko, for answering that. Next one, Aisha. First thing you normally do to start your day.
The first thing I do. I always listen to music in the morning because when
Hmm.
every time I listen to music, it gives me a good vibes. So I listen to
Hmm.
something that I can dance with it.
Wow. So a music lover and a dancer. Do you dance as well, Aisha?
But I'm not really good at dancing. But I like moving my body. So
Okay. So like you like moving your body, but not really a dancer. Okay,
yes.
that's pretty good enough. That's pretty good enough. Next one, Miss Hiroko. This one's pretty interesting. First thing that you notice in a Miss Universe Japan candidate.
First things I notice.
Yes. First thing that you see, like, is it a smile? Is it the personality? Is it the eyes, the body, the face?
I think how they say hello, like it's definitely
Mm.
eye contact because I really trying to see who has communication skill.
Oh, there you go. I'd like to do a follow up with on that, Miss Hiroko. For
Yeah.
example, it's your first time to see a girl or a candidate. Do you already have an idea of, for example, oh, this girl is going to make it to the finals? There's this girl is going to make it to the top five. Do you already have an idea, having
Okay,
had that
so
experience?
usually I have idea that maybe this girl's gonna make it to the final, the finalist. But this
Mm-hmm.
year was very difficult and different because we started doing like online audition, so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see them in person. Yeah, so this
Oh.
year was very difficult to see who gonna be, top five, who gonna be the winner.
Oh,
But
okay. So
usually
that's pretty.
I will have a good idea, but obviously I'm not the judge. So even like I think like, oh, this girl might
Yeah.
win. Maybe this girl's not gonna be even finalist.
Yes, yes. That's actually a pretty good idea that you shared. Of course, since you're
Mm-hmm.
the national director, you also competed in the Miss Universe stage, which
Yeah.
we're going to talk about in a little bit. I'm pretty excited
Yes.
to know your stories. Okay, next one, Aisha. This one, I would like to ask you about the first the first person who messaged you congratulations. In the flood of congratulations, do you remember the very first person who said congratulations to you?
But the person I remember most was my grandfather. He just turned
Mm.
90 years old this year, and I haven't seen him since
Mm.
last year because of COVID-19. I couldn't see him. And so he texted me that he's so proud of me and he's so happy that he has lived until he's 90 because of what happened.
Wow.
Like I was so happy. And
Wow.
when I saw the message, I started crying. I showed it to my mother, and my mother also started crying. So we're just crying. I'm like, oh, grandpa, I'm so happy too.
Yes, that should be a moment, right? I mean, I think that is like one of his many wishes now that he has reached that certain age. And I'm so happy that he was able to see it now that you have a crown on your head. Not right now, but then you have the title of Miss Universe Japan 2020. So good job. Next one. Let's have here your lasts, okay? Let's have Miss Hiroko. The last time you felt really satisfied.
Well, I think after the competition finished,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah,
Oh, that the satisfaction after finishing the competition. Great. Okay, next one. Aisha, the last time you felt really nervous. Do you remember that?
Definitely is going to be my final answers.
oh,
When I was giving the
Oh.
final answers, I was so nervous. I remember less about what really happened because I was panicking in my head.
Okay. Perfectly understandable, but I think you made your answer very, very well. So congratulations on that. Next one, let's have now Miss Hiroko. This one is a very interesting one. Last thing you want people to remember about your being national director of Miss Universe Japan. For example, the time is already going to pass. What is the one thing that you want people to remember about you as the national director?
mm, I think I want people to think that me and my team made the changes for not only Miss Universe Japan, for like giving the empower to the ladies, like the young generation. That's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still doing that, but I really want to make it change with my team. So that is like, oh, like I want people to see like, oh, like Hiroko and Hiroko's team made the big changes for young generation.
There you go. And I think you are doing it just perfectly fine with the staging of the
Thank
2020
you.
edition. Great job.
Thank you.
And one last, Aisha. I think you answered this during the pre-live, but I want to find out. Last thing you did with your Miss Universe Japan sisters after the pageant, was there any like get together, after party? What was the atmosphere like? Hey, we can share.
Yes, like Hiroko-san said it earlier, we went to eat burger because we've been talking about it since our practice. We'd be like, after the competition, we are definitely going to eat burger. Even on the stage, at the backstage, we're like, hey, when we finish this, we're gonna get the burger. That is
The
what I
burger,
remember. Yes,
the
we
burger
love it so
because
much.
you are not allowed to like eat anything that can like make you like gain weight or whatever. The burger is your perfect reward, I think, after the competition, right?
Right.
There you go. So there you go. There we have it. Thank you so much, Miss Hiroko and Aisha, for answering the firsts and lasts from Sash Factor. Now I would like to put a spotlight on our new queen for now. All right, Aisha. Now that you are now the Miss Universe Japan 2020, let's like do a little throwback to your life before the competition. Maybe you can share a little bit. Who was Aisha? What was Aisha like before becoming Miss Universe Japan 2020? Maybe you can share a little bit.
Well, I was a normal woman who works in a hotel doing a normal stuff every day. But last year, because I competed in Miss Universe Japan 2019, my life changed a bit from that. From my experience, through that experience, a lot of people talked to me, contacted me that they wanted to hear the speech of how I feel about discrimination. And I started
Mm-hmm.
doing that. So I had much more volunteer activity through this 2019 to
Mm-hmm.
2020. But when I became Miss Universe Japan, then that became totally different.
There you go. And of course, we all know that the answer was really perfect. I'm gonna delve into that a little bit. But then, normally, for example, if Aisha weren't Miss Universe Japan 2020 right now, what would you be? What is a typical day like for Aisha?
My typical day life.
Your normal
Well, when
day.
I
Yeah.
well, usually when I don't have work, I just go see my friends. And the favorite thing
Mm.
for me to do is to go picnic. I love picnicking outside in
Oh.
the sun. Yeah, that is what I do most of the time. Sometimes I go shopping with my family. I go eat. Like just a normal person.
Yes, yes. And of course, you know what, Miss Hiroko, I don't know if you're going to agree, but the first thing that I noticed about Aisha is the very full smile that she has. I mean, right? I mean, one question about that smile, Aisha, because it's a very beautiful smile. Do you get people saying that you have a beautiful smile the first time that they see you? What do they normally say about you the first time they see you?
Well, true. People really talk about my mouth. Many people tell me that I have a big mouth, so that they can really see my
Okay.
smile. Yeah.
Yes, but again, for me, you have a very beautiful smile. And I think, like what Miss Hiroko said, it's actually the first thing that you notice in a person is actually how they say hello. But if you have that beautiful smile, you're going to like magnetize many people to you, right? There you go. Next one, Aisha, I'd like to ask about this one. When did you start being interested in pageant? Can you remember that defining moment that made you say, okay, I'm going to give pageants a try? Do you remember that?
Yes, that is when I was in Ghana. I was like 11, 12 years old, and I was watching TV with my family, and I saw Miss Universe Angola, Leila Lopez, on the TV, and then
Oh.
she was doing a volunteer activity in around Ghana, around West Africa. So since I was also doing a volunteer activity back then in Ghana, I got interested in her, and I was like, wow, what a pretty woman who is also
Hmm.
doing a volunteer activity. That is so nice. And that is when I was motivated that I could do the same thing as she was doing.
Wow, that's actually a very interesting story, because You never know. For example, right now, Aisha, now that you are Miss Universe Japan, you also do not know how many people you're going to inspire, how many girls you're going to inspire as well to do the same thing, like what Miss Leila Lopez did to you in the past edition of Miss Universe. Now, next one, I'd like to ask this one. Of course, you mentioned about your life in Ghana, living with a mixed heritage. So again, for everyone's benefit, Aisha is half Japanese and half Ghanaian, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Maybe you can share a little bit. What was life like having a mixed heritage? What were the best parts first, and what were some of the challenges that you faced?
Well, the best part was I had two backgrounds. So, which is from my father's background, the Ghana, and my mother's culture, Japan. And it was so nice that since I was growing up, I could experience these two type of culture. But the negative part that I kind of suffer was, example, when I was in Japan, people didn't really identify me as a Japanese person, but as a foreigner. And then I think it's something that you can see from outside the person because if you see me, you're never gonna think I'm full Japanese or you're never gonna see me as a Japanese person. So it is it's such a nature thing for the person to think I'm a foreigner. But
Mm-hmm.
somehow I was sad about this that people treat me as a foreigner. But still it's not like I had a really hard time in Japan because I love Japan. I love Japanese people and it was really nice growing up with my parents.
Yes, that's actually a very good thing that you shared, no, Aisha. I'd like to do a follow-up on that. For example, another half Japanese girl, be it half Filipina or half African or half American, is watching this. What is your message to her now that you have the crown and she is also experiencing the same type of difficulties? What would be your message to her?
I like to tell the girl that she shouldn't deny herself, that she should really believe in herself and she's really beautiful. Because even if you're in that one country where people will deny you as not being where the person is from, but I feel like it is not something that you can judge from outside. But if you really a beautiful person from inside your heart, many people realize that and many people notice that. So I like to tell the girl to believe in herself and to stay positive.
Oh my God. Very, very incredible answers. Miss Hiroko, are you proud of Aisha? I am so happy with the answers.
Yeah,
Yes.
whenever this I'm like, oh my god, I'm super proud of her.
Yes,
She's
yes.
always scared of me. I don't know why, but like, yeah, I'm very like after the competition, like she answered the press, people like press conference, and
Yeah.
obviously she was speaking Japanese, and her answer was perfect, and like it's not only like perfect, it's coming from heart. So that's what I like about Aisha. And now I'm listening, she's speaking English, answering everything in English, and doing the interview. I'm like, yeah, I'm very proud of her.
And and right, Miss Hiroko, just the message that she sent right now, very inspiring, very sincere. I think you have a really good candidate for Miss Universe this year. So congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to turn the tables now. Let's now focus on Miss Hiroko. Okay? So I'm going to like pause a little bit in Aisha. Miss Hiroko, because not everyone, I don't know if everyone knows, to all of our Sash Factor Live viewers right now, aside, before being the national director of Miss Universe Japan, you competed yourself in Miss Universe 2008. I watched that very that edition, and the first thing that I remember about you is the hairstyle.
Mhm.
It's the iconic
Oh my
hairstyle
god.
right here. Right
Completely
here.
different person. Oh my god.
There you go. But you know
Don't
what?
show
This
to Aisha.
Wow.
It's gonna be like
Wow.
trend.
But you know what, Miss Hiroko, that is actually your trademark. I think in all of the candidates during the 2008 edition, that was your trademark that made you different. Now, I'd like to ask, let's walk down memory lane. Let's do a throwback. Do you have any fun or memorable experiences that you still remember up to this day about competing in 2008?
Well, like like everything was it's amazing experience for me. And first of all, like taking the plane by myself is the first time for me to the time.
Wow.
So and I couldn't speak any word of English, so I don't know what's going on every day. But
Uh-huh.
I had an amazing national director called Ines Bigland. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure everybody knows her. She's like legend for as a national director, and she did a great guideline. And she trained me for anything happen. I was like, I feel like okay, I could do it because Ines trained me. So I had confidence, and I got confidence by her. And being in Vietnam, and then my competition was like one month in Vietnam. So it's not only like 2 weeks or so, like 1 month. So it was very long
Yeah.
time, and it
Mm-hmm.
was quite fancy compared to um you know any other competition like Miss Universe competition. We had a
Yeah.
we had a parade like maybe 2 3 times in the town, and day that we arrived in airport, like I noticed that all the how do you say like, traffic light was stopped because we going
Mm-hmm.
through. And that all the
Wow.
experience was like, oh my god, like I'm here, like I can't believe it. And the one like biggest memory that I had is I visit SOS Children Village.
Mm-hmm.
I never been there, and Japan is not so common to have those village. So I visit there, spend time with the children that doesn't have a parents. Even they do have a parents, financial reason they they need help. So when I
Mm-hmm.
visit there, my heart was like completely broken, and yeah, it was
Oh.
great memory. That is great experience that I had. But I think that was like you know like wake up call for me that what I needed to do for as a Miss Universe Japan.
There you go. And actually, before I move on, we have here one comment, Miss Hiroko. Brandon Lieb actually commented, wow, both are stunning. I must say, the national director can compete in Miss Universe. Well, she already did.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm too old and I'm not Miss anymore, so I can't. But
No, actually, you know what, Miss Hiroko, is that right now, I don't know if Aisha is going to agree and the fans are going to agree. You can still compete with how young looking you are. So,
yeah, but
Yes,
that's great
definitely.
genes though. Like yeah, thank you
yes,
to like Asian genes. Like even like I like I shall like we all look fresh and young because the Asian genes.
yeah, correct. And then, of course, you already mentioned something about things change a lot from the past 12 years. I think you placed top 15 in the 2008 edition. I'd like to ask, since this is very interesting to find out, Ms. Hiroko, what are the main differences competing then and to the competition now? What are the things are that are different?
Okay, this is the like really big difference is the social media.
Mm.
Like the time when I was competing, like we didn't like I don't think I had even Facebook account.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's zero social media. People just starting doing like blog, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So so that's why like the time like all the problem or all the things that you know we need to learn as Miss Universe Japan is everything on news from TV, or like so like we could only learn about own country. But now because of social media we can communicate with people all over the world and share
Mm.
the their problem or like great news or anything. So now the pro the we as a Miss Universe Japan, like we can really tell people that not only our culture or like our country, it's we can say so many different country things. And yeah, that is the biggest change, I think.
Yes, I should agree, Miss Hiroko, because again, social media has changed everything in the world. A lot of things in the world became more accessible. It became easier to actually communicate with people. And I think in terms of like fan base as well, right? The fans, the supporters, it became easier for the fans to actually communicate with their favorite delegate, to get updates about their favorite delegate. So I think that is one of the biggest differences. I should
Yeah.
agree, Miss Hiroko. Now, speaking of that difference or that competition, and I'd like to put a spotlight on the 2020 edition of Miss Universe Japan. Okay, I'd like to ask Aisha this time, of course, being the new queen. What was going through your head during the different parts of the competition? For example, when you were called as one of the semi-finalists first, what was going through your head?
Well, starting from the semi-finalist, I was happy to redo my this challenge on becoming a Miss Universe Japan, and because I did it last year, so I was happy again forever for me to try
Yeah.
again. And when I became a finalist, I was happy, but at the same time, I was kind of nervous because my father and my mother is watching right in front of me, and I was just so nervous if I could do my best on the stage. But after my walking about the swimwear and then my dress walk, I was rather not nervous, but I was rather worried that I couldn't do well. I couldn't perform well on the stage. So I was actually kind of crying at a backstage that I feel like I didn't do
Oh.
it well. Yes. And then at the top five, Kirara told me that I did well, that I should be happy and I should be proud about myself. And she was just encouraging me the whole time. And when they mentioned my name as a top five, she was the first person who yelled and said, "Hey, you did it, girl. I told you." And I was so happy about that. Like that is when I realized how blessed I am to have such a nice friend and a supportive person right beside me. So after the top five, the final when I was going to for my final answer, I was so nervous, but I just have to say what I always feel and then what I always want to spread the message. So I just said my words and I became Miss Universe Japan.
Yes, there you go. And since you already answered that, I was about to ask you, did you even expect to be part of the top five? Since you mentioned that you were crying at the backstage, maybe I'm going to ask you a little a different question. What was the first thing that entered your head when you were called as a top five? Were you already satisfied that you made it that far? Or you said to yourself, okay, I'm gonna go all the way. I need to win the crown. What is the game plan inside your head during top five?
So when they mentioned my name, I was like, okay, now that they mention my name, I just have to do it because my goal is to become Miss Universe Japan and try for the Miss Universe competition and to spread my message. So I just have to do all my best to spread my message. So in my head, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get a crown.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, speaking of the top five, that's a very good mindset. Speaking of the top five, of course, there are only four other girls. Real talk. Who were the other girls that you thought had a strong chance as well to win the crown aside from you?
Honestly, they were all strong. I mean, everyone
Mm-hmm.
was so strong for me. And then for me, like anyone could have win from that top five. But to pick one person, maybe I would
Mm-hmm.
say Raimu Kaminashi. She's also a Nigerian half. So since we
Mm-hmm.
are mixed together and we have the same African roots, I was thinking in my head that maybe they might compare me and her at the same time because we have the same message that we wanted to spread. She was also talking about discrimination, and I'm also talking about discrimination. So we have the same feelings and same message. So I think the judges will compare more of us together. So I would say she was the strongest for me. But I mean, everyone was so strong over there.
Correct, correct. Because I watched, as I mentioned during the pre-live, I watched the entire thing. The top five this year was so strong, so diverse. I mean, in terms of like, of course, the facial features, the walk, and of course, the message that they have. Very strong top five. Miss Hiroko, maybe I'd like to ask you now. Is there anything that you'd like to share to our fans about the staging this time? I mean, what are the things that you would like to reveal about the difficulties, the challenges that you had to go through to stage the 2020 edition? given that we are still in the pandemic?
Okay, so yeah, first of all, like because like we are in the pandemic, so all the girls, I asked them to take PCR test to attend Miss Universe Japan,
Mhm.
competition like before the training. So we did like maybe 10 days, being together doing rehearsal and training. And so before they joined, like everybody did a PCR test, and then during the
Mhm.
training, everybody need to wear the mask and
Yeah.
you know all the things. And then for the for the show, we could only get 50% of the audience. Usually we
Mm.
could get like like maybe 800, 900 people, but we have to have like like max 50%. And the audience need to wear the mask and the face shield.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like before like when we doing the rehearsal like last year, I could sit anywhere in the crowd, but they say like, okay, only this chair you can sit, because after that they need to sanitize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so like those things but I can't like, but we all used to it already, because since pandemic happens already a few months past. So it was like when I think about it, this was like I can't believe like you know what we did, or like the production company needs to go through. But yeah, but everything is very smooth because I had a great production company. It's great team. So it was not stress for me at all, but definitely it's different as last year.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And I should congratulate you, Miss Hiroko, because when in fact some of the countries just basically not perhaps appointed or just didn't push through with the edition this year in their respective countries, Japan made it happen. So
Yeah.
congratulations once
Thank you
again.
very
And it
much, and thank you to all you and the fan support and like my team support, because without that I couldn't make it. And especially like we like whole world is in pandemic, and it's only like sad news is going in the world this past 1 year. I really wanted to make it happen, because that's what
yeah,
Miss Universe need to do. And like Aisha, the beautiful girls that is sending the amazing message to like young, especially young generation. That is what we needed to do. So I just like telling the team that like I'm not gonna stop doing the Miss Universe Japan competition this year. I just want to do whatever that is, like maybe zero audience, only like online streaming. It's fine, we need to do. And yeah, my
exactly.
team really helped me to make it happen, so I'm very thankful.
Yes, again, congratulations, Miss Hiroko. Now, I'd like to shift this time to Aisha. Since you already said, Miss Hiroko, that it is a message that we need to send to the world, that despite the pandemic, we need to push through, and the message of Miss Universe Japan needs to be heard around the world. Aisha, our new queen, definitely gave a really powerful message during her final question. I'd like to put the spotlight on that answer because that was a very inspired and inspiring answer, Aisha, about discrimination, not only on race, based on race, but also discrimination that is related to the pandemic, which is wow. That is a very powerful message. I'd like to ask, where did you draw that answer from? What was the inspiration of that answer?
Well, this year it has been a very difficult year for all of us, and then I've been watching it on news that it became, I mean, racism became worldwide thing, and I feel like when the racism topic was on the news, but also at the same time there was a lot of discrimination towards Asians, and then, I mean, this kind of discrimination has been there for a very long time, but this year we were able to see it with our own eyes, and we witnessed that there was just such a big, so much discrimination this year. And I feel like I am as a black and as an Asian person, I feel like
Mhm.
I can spread that message because I know I've seen how my father was discriminated, and then I know I have a. I mean, I grew up in Japan, so I have so much Japanese friend, Japanese family, and I know that sometimes people can become so hard on Asians too. So I feel like with my own experience, I could send that message to people in the world.
There you go. Again, powerful message, meaningful message actually, Aisha. It did not only win you the crown, but you also won the hearts of many people around the world. So congratulations on that. I'd like to connect your that answer of yours to the next part of my question, which is of course, I think many people are aware that it's not only you who actually raised the biracial quote unquote biracial power in the finals. But I think the top three, I don't know if I'm
Top
not mistaken,
five
that
actually.
actually top five, there you go. The top five were all of biracial heritage. I mean, how cool is that? How powerful of a message is that? I'd like to ask Miss Hiroko first. With the top five having biracial heritage, like mixed heritage, what do you think is the importance of this message that you have sent across around the world about inclusivity and acceptance?
Okay, so first of all, every time like after Miss Universe Japan competition finish, people say that oh she doesn't look Japanese. Like even when I
Yeah.
won Miss Universe Japan, everybody said like oh she doesn't look Japanese. That is
Mm-hmm.
like people's mentalities there still
Mm-hmm.
in Japan. So it's having the top five that biracial girls there. I think we really show to the world, not only to Japan, to the world that Japan is changing. This is the young generation. Like even like the best tennis player, the Naomi Osaka, she's Japanese but she's biracial. So yeah, Japan is changing, and like we really need to focus on the person's unique part, not as a
Mm-hmm.
Japanese or like not anything like the background. Yeah, so like we really show to the world that Japan is changing, not only Miss Universe Japan, like Japan is really changing.
Wow, beautiful, powerful message, Miss Hiroko. Congratulations. I mean, I cannot say it more than enough that just the mere fact that the top five, and I think not only the top five, I think there were other delegates who are also biracial or of mixed heritage in the roster of ladies. It just goes to show that how how diverse and how open Miss Universe Japan is in sending that message of acceptance and inclusivity that is needed around the world right now,
But
right?
it's
What?
very very interesting because I was watching the show from the audience. I was not
Yeah,
even judge, and when I see the
yeah,
top five girls, they did all the interview, like, the Q&A finish, and I was on the backstage, and all the competition finished. Then I realized that oh, all the top five is the biracial. So I didn't even realize.
yeah.
So the judge chose the five girls, and the girls are strongest, the top five, right? So I think judge saw that the what Japan needed and what the world needed. So that was the result, I think.
Exactly. I like what you said. It's what Japan needed and what the world needs right now. Thank you so much, Miss Hiroko, for sending that message. Aisha, of course, being the new queen and the flag bearer of Japan to the Miss Universe stage, how important is this message of accepting mixed heritage or accepting the identities of different people, be it biracial, pure Japanese, or mixed heritage, how important that is to you now that you're about to compete in Miss Universe.
Well, yes, I think it's such a big thing, and it's very important for us because, well, first of all, for Miss Universe Japan's top five to become all mixed girls, that was the first thing that ever happened in our entire Miss Universe Japan history. So I was so proud of it. And then by doing so, we can tell people that Japan is such a diverse country that we are diverse. I mean, we are diverse people, and then we are changing Japan. So when we are all mixed, we can tell others that to become a Japanese, I mean, to say you're a Japanese, you don't have to be full Japanese. You can be a diverse person. You can be multicultural, but it all depends on place where you were raised and where your heart is. And then my heart is in Japan, so I could say I'm Japanese. And even though I have other blood, I am Japanese. I love Japan. So like I think that can go to other same girls. And then I think it is so important for people in the world to know that to become someone, it doesn't have to be judged by others, but to be someone that you really want to be. So I think by becoming such a multicultural Miss Universe Japan, I could send that message to people in the world. Thank you.
Wow, you know what? I am so excited right now. Miss Hiroko and Aisha, I can't wait for Aisha to already compete because you know what? Because that message and what she's going to say, for example, with the judges just during the competition, I think she's going to nail it. I have high hopes for you listening to you right
Yeah,
now.
I think
I
so
can't.
too. I'm very proud of her.
Right, right. Now, now, yes, now since that we are talking about the competition, okay, maybe that's going to be next year. What is now the game plan of Team Japan for Miss Universe competition? What are the things that we can expect? Miss Hiroko being the national director, what can we expect in terms of like preparations? What are the things that we need to
So,
look forward?
usually like every year we visit Philippines to make all the wardrobe from Philippines. And but this year I really hope that COVID is going to finish soon as possible so we can visit
Mm-hmm.
Philippines. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is one thing that I'm still need to figure out how we can prepare her wardrobe. Beside that, I like like you could see and all the fan could see that Aisha is ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like she can answer. She has the message already. So yeah, like I don't know. I saw like, oh, we need to do like speech lesson, the walking lesson, and everything. But when I listen the Aisha speech now, I'm like, okay, she's ready maybe.
Yes, Miss Hiroko, let's send Aisha now to the Miss Universe, even if
So
there's no competition.
tomorrow, not Miss USA, tomorrow's Miss Universe competition, we win. I'm like, let's do
Yes.
that.
You are ready, Aisha. I should agree. Now, Aisha, I'd like to ask you now, where are you in your head right now? Now that you're going to compete in the biggest pageant in the world. I mean, what are so far? Of course, it's far off from today, but right now, what are your emotional and mental preparations about the competition?
Well, I know that if I go to the Miss Universe competition, I'm going to see different people from different background, and I know everyone has a very strong identity and a very strong characters. But I can't be comparing myself to the others. I just have to be strong and I just have to believe in myself because I know what I have been doing through my year, and I know that the message I can spread is something very important for everyone in the world. So I just have to believe in myself and I just have to be so confident about myself.
Correct, correct. And I think you mentioned something about like the competition. Actually, I was about to ask you about that. Since you mentioned that you're only competing with yourself, not comparing with others. But I'd like to ask this question, of course. Now that we have crowned other delegates from other countries as well, have you tried? This is for both Miss Kiroko and Aisha. Have you both already scoped and looked through the competitions from the other countries? And who for you are the impressive ones so far? I'm not saying competition, ah. The ones who are impressive for you so far. Let's start off with Aisha. Who has impressed you so far in terms of like social media, the photos, the videos?
I'm very impressed by everyone, of course. But then I saw Miss Universe Canada. I listened to her message through Instagram and I was very moved by her words because she was giving a very powerful message about discrimination. It's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing that I want to spread. So, and she was also saying um, she was standing in front of the crowd when there was a Black Lives Matter, and she was giving a very powerful message, and everyone was so moved and inspired by that. I could tell from the video. So I'm very happy and excited to meet her.
Okay, Canada. What about Miss Kiroko? So far, from the things that you have seen.
Okay, definitely Miss Philippine, Rabia.
Mm.
Yeah, of course. And also I think Miss South Africa should because
Mm-hmm.
I really need to like not only this year to be top 20 if we're gonna go through like last year or like this past few years selection. she really need to be top 5 in the Asia, Pacific, Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like I really so I think that our competitor gonna be that area. And I
Yeah.
know Miss Philippine, like the day that maybe she was not, she's always strong, like the Miss Philippines always strong, but by the
Mm-hmm.
time the Miss Universe happened, they are like ready. So
Okay.
that I really need to watch out.
So
And also
I
South Africa, definitely like every year, since my year, like there is like South Africa that was she made top
correct.
10, but they
Correct.
always send in the strong girl, especially
Yeah.
for as a like message wise.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, we really need to. Yeah, I think that these two gonna be is good,
Okay.
big
Oh,
competitor for Aisha.
okay. So I actually interviewed Rabia like a few days ago. Rabia, here, Miss Hiroko is watching you right now and sees you as a strong competitor. She's watching over you. Okay.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
yeah. Thank you so much, Miss Hiroko and Aisha, for answering those questions. Now, I'd like to give the floor to the fans this time, okay? To all of our Sash Factor live chat fans and viewers, do you have any questions for our special guest for today? Let me read one question here. Actually, this is from Brandon Lieb. Okay, Brandon Lieb. This is, I think, directed to Miss Hiroko.
Okay.
Okay. This is in connection with the performance of Japan last year. So last year Japan performed well. What do you think was lacking and how will you address it? So I think you sent a really great candidate as well, but then you weren't able to like come through or push through the finals. What are you going to do differently this time?
This time, I think Aisha and then the like last year winner Ako are completely different personality. Like even like Aisha compete last year and she was first
Mm,
runner. So both of them, like by look, the message, everything is completely different. So I'm not gonna make difference this year because I have different winner. But I think the
mm,
Aisha's strongest part is obviously she has beautiful face, a great walk, a great message, everything. But
mm,
she trained these 2 years. And what I wanted to say is that even Miss Universe announced the date for Miss Universe competition. We don't know what's gonna happen this time.
correct, correct.
Like so Aisha has like really like long mentality, like the her focus is not like short time, short period. So
Mm,
that is our like strongest part, that even like the competition is tomorrow or 2 months later or three, maybe like 1 year later, she can just focus for long term. And
yeah,
I think that is, I'm not sure, I never met other delegates for from the country, but I think that is the Aisha's strongest part. So I don't need to make difference. I just want Aisha to be herself, like she said, and sending this message over and over until Miss Universe finish. And after Miss Universe, she needs to continue.
you so much for answering that, Miss Hiroko. This is actually not a question. This is addressed to Aisha. Othman Fedi would like to say congratulations. I'm watching from Ghana. But this time,
Wow.
I guess some are still on bed. I think so too. Yes. So he would like to say congratulations, Uthman Fidi. Now, I'd like to ask a follow-up question based on what Miss Hiroko said. Since she mentioned that you competed last year, Aisha, how different are you, like in terms of like mentally, physically, and what do you think is the advantage now that you have won the title after 1 year of trying out last year?
Well, I could say that I'm much more confident and then I'm
Uh,
much more I have so much. I mean, last year because I experienced the Miss Universe Japan competition, I know how it is like to stand in front of people and to talk in front of people. But last year was my first time doing that. That is why I get
yeah.
so nervous. And even though I have the confidence, I couldn't really speak up my own message. But because of last year, I was able to do well on the 2020 stage. So I feel like I'm much more confident and I have the power to spread my message through the people. Thank
Correct.
you.
And I think sometimes the universe is not going to give it to you right then and there because you need more time to grow. All right, Miss Hiroko? I think are you going to agree with
Definitely,
that?
she's ready this year. Last year, she was still shy,
Mm.
but listening her speech today, I'm like, yeah, she's ready, and I really believe that she worked so hard to get this point. Because I don't think not so many people can do training like only like 1 year, 2 years to do this interview, and giving like such a strong message. So
Yes, I should agree. Again, sometimes time is needed for someone to grow. And I think, Aisha, you needed the time to grow, and now you are ready. Okay, next one. This is actually a comment from Gary Lai Take Uy. This is for Miss Hiroko. Miss Hiroko, you look more beautiful with your present hairstyle.
thank
Gary
you.
said, there you go. And Marina Little would like to mention we are the future. We should agree with all of the things that was mentioned by Miss Hiroko and Aisha. Thank you so much. Rio Adachi. Yes, Rio Adachi. Aisha, this is a question for you. Aisha, congratulations. Rio Adachi would like to ask, where is your favorite place to travel?
But actually, Ria is one of my best friend from my university.
Oh, hi, Rio.
Yeah. Hi. The favorite place to go again? Well, I've been to Thailand for like 3 times in my life because I
Mhm,
love their
mhm.
food. But recently, I'm more interested in Philippines because I met Yuki Sonoda from this Miss Universe Japan 2020, and she has told me a lot about Philippines, how nice it is, how the food is great it is. So I would like to go to Philippines now.
Yes, and if you go both Miss Hiroko and Aish, if you go to the Philippines, I will welcome you. I will be your tour guide, your travel guide. Let's go places here in Manila. Thank you so much for that question to your friend from the university. Maybe one last comment from Sean. Oh no, let's have here this one from Precious Cortez. Since you mentioned the Philippines, Aisha, a beautiful queen in Hiroko, OMG, gotten more beautiful from the Philippines. Precious Cortez would like to mention that. Okay. Now, since we have actually more comments here from coming from the fans. But then to all of the fans, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for placing your questions and comments for our special guest for today. But of course, all good things must come to an end. We already have like an hour of interview. I never realized it was already an hour already. I know, yes, yes. But of course, before we end this really great conversation on Sash Factor Life, I'd like to give the both of you an opportunity to say your thank you message to all of the fans, all of your supporters throughout the journey and throughout the edition of Miss Universe Japan 2020. Let's start off, of course, with our beautiful national director, Hiroko Mima. What is your message to everyone?
Okay, the first of all, thank you very much for watching and supporting Miss Universe Japan. And please cheer for Aisha for 2020 Miss Universe. And yeah, I like Noi mentioned, like we are the future. Let's make difference together.
There you go. Thank you so much, Miss Hiroko, for gracing the interview and for making this interview happen for
Thank
Sash
you very much for
Factor.
having us.
Of course, and of course, we'll end the afternoon with our lovely, powerful, and impactful Miss Universe Japan 2020. Aisha, what is your message to all of our viewers right now?
Well, thank you everyone for listening to me and thank you to Sash Factor for having me here. It's such a great honor. And I would like to tell people in the world that please believe in yourself and be confident about yourself because you're the only one who knows more about yourself. So just love yourself. Thank you.
There you go. On that note, with a powerful message, ladies and gentlemen, a virtual applause to our National Director of Miss Universe Japan, Hiroko Mima, and our new queen, Miss Universe Japan 2020, Aisha Tochigi. Woo! Congratulations. And thank you so much. Maraming salamat from the Philippines for making this interview happen. And to all of our viewers, maraming salamat from the Philippines and to all of our viewers around the world from Ghana to Japan, to the Philippines. This has been a great conversation. And this has been your host, Noy Sabilano for Sash Factor Live series saying, stay safe and have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you so much. Thank you. Have
Bye.
a nice day.